Thank you for being in here. So tell us about yourself a little bit, your company, and then let's dive in and talk about mushroom.
Oh, absolutely. It's just a pleasure to be with you today. Thank you for the opportunity to
Yeah, you're
have a
welcome.
conversation about functional mushrooms, which is a category that's booming. And
Uh-huh.
yeah, so my company is Lifecykel Laboratories.
Uh-huh.
We're a 10-year-old company, Australian headquartered, but we've been in the functional mushroom space for a decade now. So we're not new kids on the block and sort of orienting everybody on the term functional mushroom because there's a number of terms related to mushrooms. So functional mushrooms are the same as medicinal mushrooms. They're mushrooms that do not have any hallucinogenic effects. We call the ones like psilocybin, magic mushrooms. This is what we're talking about here today are functional or medicinal mushrooms. They have no hallucinogenic
Awesome. I'm
effect.
so glad that you made that distinction because, as I said earlier, anytime somebody's wanted to talk to you about mushroom, the first thing pops in my head is that no, thanks, I don't want LSD. You know, so so those are called functional mushroom or medicinal mushroom. Okay. So I know you got a presentation to run through, but can you just quickly tell us about where did these mushrooms come from? I mean, they come from Australia, they come from North Carolina. Where do they come from?
Great questions. Yes, we grow all of our mushrooms in Wisconsin, near
Oh,
Green Bay,
wow.
Wisconsin. Yeah, so there is a special component that we add to our mushroom extracts, which is called the Kakadu plum. Most of us don't know what the Kakadu plum is because it's not available in the US. It's available in Australia, where it's a little bit of the size of a small apple. But that Kakadu plum has the highest level of vitamin C of any plant in the world. Many people don't know this. That's why we added into
Wow.
our formulations as an extra antioxidant, if you will, and an immune booster. So all our mushrooms again are grown in Wisconsin near Green Bay, and that's where we extract them and turn them into to products.
Awesome. Awesome. So show us what you've got. Tell us about these mushrooms. I'm really curious I've been studying it for the last couple of weeks or so, but tell
Yeah.
us more.
Yeah, what I'd like to do is take you on a quick journey of where we are in the marketplace, then do a little bit deeper dive on certain species of mushrooms. There are 14,000 functional mushrooms that have been identified. We're not going to go through all 14,000. We're going to keep it maybe to a handful. But anyhow, it's a pleasure to be with you. And this is what's going on in the functional mushroom marketplace. The marketplace is booming. Right now, it's about $4 billion in mushroom supplement sales. Not talking about all the mushrooms that are bought in grocery stores, but just as supplements. And you can find these supplements in natural food stores, some pharmacies, but we're just talking about supplements here. 4 billion now, in 4 years it'll be about 8 billion. What's driving that? Well, there's a lot of things. The science is really advancing tremendously on mushrooms. So there's some great research, and we'll sort of talk through that in the next couple of slides that really shows that these mushrooms can work in certain health categories. And these are large categories as well. We'll go through that. Consumer demand, as you all know, for natural products continues to advance. People are looking for non-prescription alternatives. And then coming out of COVID 4 or 5 years ago, that heightened awareness on our importance of our immune system is still there. And all of the mushrooms that we're going to talk about today do indeed support your immune system. So um, we, you all probably didn't study mushrooms much in pharmacy school. So let's orient you with the mushroom. Everybody's familiar with the cap and the stalk, which is above the ground, but there's a lot of really interesting and beneficial things, components to that mushroom that occur underground. Those root-like things are called hyphae, and collectively they're called the mycelium. And boy, are they packed full of really important nutrients. So the approach at Lifecykel is both the fruit body at top above the soil and the mycelium, which are the roots at the bottom. We use both components, so we're what you call a full spectrum mushroom company. Many companies maybe just use the fruiting body, but we use both. And I'll talk a little bit about how we extract and process these in just a second.
Hmm. Great.
The six that I want to quickly walk you through are shown here, from lion's mane to turkey tail. All of these support your immune system. They all are antioxidants, but each one of them is a rock star in its own right. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the mechanism of action and some of the therapeutic areas that you'll be able to use the mushrooms in. Now, our number one seller, it is exploding. The word has really gotten out about lion's mane and brain health. There's been some great research done on this particular species of mushroom. People that second study cited there, people with early Alzheimer's dementia, they took lion's mane for 49 weeks. Their cognitive test scores improved. The first study showed that this mushroom actually works quite quickly to help improve memory. So the word has really gotten out. This mushroom easily crosses the blood-brain barrier, and it works to synthesize and increase brain-derived neurotrophic factor. So of all the mushrooms that we're going to talk about, this is our number one seller. The scientific evidence is really, really solid for this mushroom and all of them that we'll discuss. Now, so that's for brain health and focus. Now, I want you to think of cordyceps and think of triceps or biceps. This is your energy boosting mushroom. It has an active metabolite called cordycepin. And what cordycepin does is it activates and acts as a vasodilator, and it also helps with heart regulation. It improves VO2 max levels by about 10% in athletes. So this is a really, really popular mushroom for people that are athletes. Take this pre-workout. It's going to help you with more energy and stamina. So cordyceps is our second most popular mushroom species that we make.
Mm.
Now, one that we also do a lot with is reishi. Reishi is an adaptogenic mushroom. It is really a cool species of mushroom. It's going to work on GABA and 5-HT in the brain, and therefore it's going to manage the cortisol and adrenaline levels. So what it does is it imparts a calming effect, and it will help people relax, and it will help them with their sleep, both in quality and quantity. So there's been some very good research done on reishi mushrooms, and it really is a mushroom that works quite quickly. We have patients that try this particular mushroom, and they notice a calming effect, perhaps better asleep by using it. So that's reishi. Shiitake is one that you've probably seen in your local grocery store. This one's widely abundant in grocery stores, but this one is, we use this one more for skin, nails, and health, and hair, excuse me. And it is packed with many different vitamins and nutrients like copper and biotin. And so this mushroom really shines as a collagen booster, and it helps with hair thickness and helps with nail growth. My wife, who has not had very good success in growing her nails, takes shiitake and her nails grow really, really well. It is very, very effective
Yeah,
in that aspect.
that sounds exciting, Chuck. I mean, how many times people, as a pharmacist, I've been asked, "Hey, what can I do to strengthen my hair, or my hair's falling, or whatever, and thin it out, or whatever." So yeah, shiitake. I never thought that shiitake would be able to do something like that. That's
Yeah,
awesome. All right, that's a
yeah.
common problem with most people that visit your pharmacy, correct? I mean,
Oh, for sure, for sure. Anybody that's taking minoxidil or finasteride or looking for an option to help them with their hair, this would be a great complement to that.
great.
Um, the last two, we're going to talk about superhero for immune support. Chaga is a mushroom that actually grows on the side of birch trees, and it is really packed with so many antioxidants. It has a particular metabolite called melanin that gives it its dark orange and reddish hint. And it is really particularly strong for an immune booster. There's also been some very compelling and positive research on chaga for use in cancer patients. And so this one, if any patient were to ask me, which one do I want to take if I really am concerned about my immune system, this would be the nod. I would give it to chaga for sure.
Mhm.
The
Nice.
final one is going to be so important as we move into fall. We're starting to see already an uptick in respiratory infections. Kids are back in school, and that's where this turkey tail species of mushrooms is really so cool. It's a prebiotic, so it is going to promote the good bacteria in our gut, the growth of bifidobacterium and lactobacillus. And by doing that, whenever a patient is on that antibiotic that's going to be used, you can use the turkey tail in combination to really help strengthen that good microbiome in the gut. And it works very, very quickly. Patients that take the turkey tail notice that they don't have the GI distress that they might normally get with a antibiotic. So now's a great time to be thinking about this particular mushroom as all these oral antibiotics are being prescribed.
Right.
What I know I went through the 6 different species, and so these are the packaging that these extracts come in, and they come in 1, 2, and 4 ounce extracts or tinctures. These are made in Wisconsin, so we're an American-made company, which we're very, very proud of. Most mushroom supplements are coming from China, but we're different. We're American, and third-party tested, FDA registered facility. I know this is a busy checklist, but we're very proud of the fact that all of our products are third-party tested. They contain no starch or fillers. And so patients who may have tried a mushroom supplement before and didn't get an effect, it's largely due to the fact that a lot of the other brands have 20 to almost 80%
Wow.
filler. They're
Yeah.
paying for grain. And so, they're not going to get a benefit, but we're a different type of mushroom company for sure.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you that the one kind that I'm taking right now that you recommended, I can tell our viewers over here that I tried it, and I'm not going to just say it just because I'm talking to Chuck. I was kind of skeptical. I tried it, and I literally get about 4 hours of sleep, and then even though I woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning, I felt like, I got a pretty good 4 hours of sleep. I felt, like I got enough sleep. So just to kind of testimonial, I've tried it so far for the last couple of weeks, and I can tell you that it works. I mean, definitely works. Yeah.
Well, thank you for that firsthand feedback, and I appreciate that. And as you see the packaging there, these are all tinctures. The dosing on all our tinctures is 2 mLs a day. So you can
Mhm.
take it sublingually or you can add it to the beverage of your choice, but it's very straightforward. And this was the one I think you were referring to. If it's coming up on the screen here, there's a little sachet that has the reishi in it.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So let me talk to you a little bit about how mushrooms are grown. And you can grow the mushrooms on grain. There's no problem. You can grow them on rice, corn, whatever. But you got to remove that substrate before you turn them into extracts. And that's really where a lot of corners are being cut. The grain is ground up together with the mushrooms and many products. And so many times people, like I said, they're paying for a lot of starch which has no therapeutic benefit, and also can be a source of contamination if somebody's allergic to these particular grains. So you won't find that in Lifecykel. We are third-party tested and remove over 99% of the grain. We also employ in Wisconsin a double extraction process. So the first extraction is with water, and we pull through all the hydrophilic properties that we're looking for out of those mushrooms. Second stage is a organic ethanol extraction phase, where we pull the lipophilic minerals and nutrients that we're looking for. So as a result, it's a double extraction process that removes over 99% of the starch from the final product. And so we're very proud of that, and we feel like that the potency definitely does show up in our products.
Hmm.
So as pharmacists, you really have to look at labels. This is a supplement. It's an OTC, but we're very transparent as far as what is in our product. The Lifecykel label is there. This is we're looking at a lion's mane extract, which is our number one seller, 2-ounce extract versus a leading competitor that you might find in a Whole Foods or Sprouts type of retail situation. So one of the things that we do here, I just highlighted, we're very transparent on what's in our product as far as the mushroom component. It's right there in red. If you look over on the other side, you'll see a term called fermented brown rice biomass. That's the mycelium on grain. In this case, it was grown on rice, and they have not separated that in the extraction process. So that's an important thing to look for as you do your label comparison. One other thing is that we tell, Lifecykel will tell you exactly how much in milligrams of lion's mane is in that 60 ml or 2-ounce bottle. Very transparent there. With a competitive product, you really don't know what percentage is lion's mane. So again, transparency is very important. We play at a very, very high level with respect to how we remove starch and also provide the information you as pharmacists and patients want to see. We're quite proud of these badges, and I'll just name a few. Informed Sport certifies every one of Lifecykel's extracts. So we're very proud of that badge. What that enables Lifecykel to do is that we're used by many professional athletes and many professional sports teams. And I'll just drop a few football clubs, since we're in football season, that use our products in their locker rooms. And those would be from the West Coast to the East Coast, the San Francisco 49ers, LA Chargers and LA Rams, the New York Giants, and I may be missing a few, but we're very, very proud of the fact that these athletic departments and medical directors trust our product, have seen it work, and help with their patients or their players. Obviously, having a GMP certification and being an FDA registered facility, our badges we're very, very proud of as well. What I'm going to show you here is looking at different mushroom companies. The Lifecykel is in the green bar horizontally. And what this is a starch test. If you test a mushroom product with starch, or excuse me, with iodine, you can find, if it turns dark blue or black, that there's starch in that product. So what we're looking at here is a starch test with iodine, and you can see Lifecykel passes with almost no starch content. Now, I mentioned the label of a large competitor recently. You can see that they have almost 80% starch in their product, and this is a widely available mushroom supplement. The same thing is true for coffees, mushroom coffees, like Lifecykel has a coffee as well. probably not showing as close as well as I'd like for it to, but you can see how some of these other popular coffees like Rise and Mudwater, how they score as well on the starch purity test. So again, bottom line with Lifecykel, our double extraction process, you're going to have almost all the starch removed so the patient gets a clean, pure, and potent product. How am I doing so far, Murdad? Any questions?
Yeah, you're doing great. And for everyone, if you have a question or something, please just drop it in the Q&A in the chat, and we'll be able to answer all your questions. One thing I was going to ask you, Chuck, at this stage, uh, we talked about, how you harvested. We talked about the different type of mushroom and everything else. But is there any kind of a drug interaction or indication about using mushroom with any kind of a prescription medication? Is there such a thing as that?
Yeah, that's a great question. And from a safety standpoint, mushrooms are very benign. They don't have any known contraindications. However, there are certain special populations that we should keep in mind. Of course, women that are pregnant or breastfeeding, children under the age of 18. We just have not studied that population group. I would use the mushrooms. Obviously, if somebody's allergic to mushrooms, they should avoid them. But I would use some caution with patients that are immunosuppressants. Just check with the healthcare professional and potentially antiplatelet drugs such as Xarelto.
Mhm.
It's not contraindicated, but the mushrooms can have some of that anticoagulant properties. So just use it cautiously there.
Okay. All right. That's good. And these all your products does contain alcohol, correct?
Yes, we use organic ethanol in our extracts. Yes.
Okay. For those folks that, are personally, I'm allergic to alcohol, believe it or not, if I drink any kind of alcoholic beverage except, Michelob Ultra Light, I go into some kind of a
Yeah.
reaction or something. But so you have to make sure that people are able to drink alcohol, right? And the
Yes.
amount
Yes.
of alcohol in 2 ml of, let's say, a drop or something, that's very insignificant. So it doesn't matter if they're on certain medication that they should not be drinking alcohol, except if they're on certain medication like antibiotics, like metronidazole and things like that, that you get a reaction if you drink any kind of alcoholic
Yeah.
product. So you have to be cautious with that. Okay, great.
Yeah.
All
And
right.
that's why we've been mainly talking about the extracts or the tincture. That's why we've also brought forward some other forms like gummies and liposomals. So we'll
Nice.
talk
Yeah,
about them in
great.
just a second. Yeah, but that is the situation with starch contents in a lot of different mushroom products. So it's a very, very important aspect. Um, this is just a dosing schedule. I think I covered that briefly
Yeah.
earlier. So, and we're also very, very proud of the price points that Lifecykel has. Of course, we have a range of 31 different products, but most of them will retail at around $1 a day. So very, very affordable for most patients and provide the pharmacy with 45%
Mhm.
margin. So we'll go through that a little bit.
Well,
In,
before we get off this topic, Chuck, as one of the our guests over here, they asked about Coumadin. I guess they heard that there's an interaction between Coumadin and one of the mushrooms, I believe, right?
yes, I would use a caution with an anticoagulant or an antiplatelet
Hmm.
like Coumadin. Yeah. Mhm.
Coumadin. Okay. What
Yeah.
would be the react? Would it increase the effects? Do you know if it increases the effects of Coumadin or
Yeah,
improve
probably.
increases the metabolism? What does it do? Do you know specifically what it does?
I'm not a pharmacist, but I would think that it would accentuate the effect of Coumadin. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Now, we have heard loud and clear from pharmacists that while we have the extracts, which are great, they're rapidly absorbed, there's very good bioavailability. consumers love gummies, and consumers also are really into liposomals. So we've brought out these two forms this year, and they've done extremely well in the marketplace. So what you're looking at, the the packaging in the dark blue, that is an example either of a gummy or a liposomal sachet that is for rest and sleep. So it's going to have that reishi mushroom component as well as sometimes a lion's mane. But the reishi is going to be the rock star. Again, we talked about how it's going to work on GABA and 5-HT and manage cortisol levels. So we have the reishi, excuse me, the rest and sleep gummy available, as well as the liposomal. The gummies taste great. The liposomals, this one that I think you tried, that I tend to use in the
Yeah,
evening, that has a nice cacao flavor, and boy, I really like it. It's got the magnesium glycinate as well, so that's
yeah.
great for sleep.
Right. Hey
So
Chuck, what about anti, transplant medications, anti-rejection drugs like cyclosporin and tacrolimus, stuff like that, for those who may have a patient that is on those type of medications. What are the effects of that mushroom be on those type of products?
yeah, you probably want to check with your healthcare professional
Right.
before they
Because
just
somebody just asked that question, I was just you know
yeah,
thought while we're
yeah.
on the topic, we could just see if you have the
Yeah.
answer. So, yeah.
Any of the immunosuppressants, any of the antiplatelets or anticoagulants,
Okay,
just
so those type of medication, you should be cautious or actually at least check with your doctor before you take it, correct?
exactly,
Right.
exactly.
Okay. Awesome.
Yeah, yeah. Now the orange products, the products in orange are for energy and focus, and that's where the lion's mane and the cordyceps are going to be used. Those are very, very popular. Again, we have them in the liposomal sachets, like the one shown above, or like this on the screen. That is a great energy booster. That's how my wife starts her day instead of coffee is that one because it's a liposomal and it works really, really quick.
Yeah.
As Americans, we love gummies. 1 out of 4 supplements sold is a gummy, so we have great tasting gummies as well. So basically, we give your patients 3 different forms: the tinctures, gummies, and liposomals.
Yeah. And which form of these type of products, whether it be capsules, gummies, or liquid, which one tend to uh, be the most potent, tend to preserve the most potency, if you will, for
Yeah,
that particular mushroom?
yeah, yeah. I
Does that make
mean,
a difference though, or no?
yeah, certainly, I would rank them the following way. If you want something that's going to work extremely quick and have great bioavailability, it's hard to beat what these liposomal sachets provide. Okay. Now,
Mhm.
not far behind them are the tinctures. If you take these sublingually, they work very quickly as well. Maybe not quite as quickly as the liposomals, but very fast. And then in third place, as far as um, the time to feel the effect would be the gummies because it has to be, go through the gut.
All
Uh,
right.
yeah, so you get 3 different options. Patients have the chance to choose which one they prefer, and you've got them covered.
Awesome. Yeah. Great.
Yeah. I want to just share with you how we work with pharmacies. We On the right-hand side there of the screen is it is a floor display. It's a movable end cap, if you will. And this was actually constructed by the input of many pharmacy owners. They said, listen, uh, we need something that's going to catch the attention of patients as they walk in the store. And boy, does this really grab their attention. You saw this
It
firsthand.
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
It does. Looks good.
So yeah, so it's got all 3 different forms: tinctures, liposomals, and gummies. You can move them around however you want. On this orientation, we have the tinctures on top and the liposomals in the middle, but you can choose how you want to do it. But it really engages the customers. On top, there is a placard that tells about each of the mushrooms and what their benefits are. So that's how probably 80 of our pharmacies start is with a point of sale display because the fact that it makes merchandising so easy and
Hmm.
it engages those patients. And again, to repeat, most of these products are going to retail around $1 a day that you see on that
Yeah.
display.
Hmm.
And again, some very, very nice margins. And we're seeing 62% of patients come back repeatedly for products. So what does that mean? That means they're seeing an effect. They're pleased with the therapeutic benefit, and
Right.
they come back
So that
to
dollar a day is basically retail, correct?
retail.
Retail. And what's the
Yeah.
cost? I mean, something like these products. What I mean, what's my margin? 45% at retail, so roughly what about 12, $13? Is that what I'm looking at for the cost of the product?
Yeah, in that neighborhood. Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
13
there's a
and
good margin, and then of course you can charge whatever you want, correct?
you
Depends on
can.
your market. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And
Okay.
you know, part of the thing is now that we really want to hold the hand of our customers and provide training because again, you might not have studied mushrooms in pharmacy school, so let us help you. And we have live training and some great videos created by pharmacists that are 2 or 3 minutes long that really talk about how these mushrooms work and great patient opportunities. So it doesn't stop there. You'll have a account executive that will also help you with marketing tips and resources as well to help educate and market to your patients.
Now, let me ask you this, Chuck, again, because that's been in the back of my mind, is that how do you see it? Like, we saw how CBD in the last maybe 10, 15 years, it kind of grew into an industry by itself, right?
Yeah.
With legalization of marijuana, with all these companies making CBDs, drops, liquid, troches, gummies, and everything else that they make all over the place. Where do you see mushroom going? I mean, is that going to follow the same path or is it going to be a different path? I mean, how do you see this? I mean, the future for, these type of mushroom, is that growing? Is it like the interest getting more attention from media? What's going on there?
Yeah, the market is 4 billion now. It's projected to be 8 billion. And what's driving it is a couple of things. The research is really expanding every day. So pharmacists, patients, physicians are aware of that. Secondly, the consumers are aware of that as well. I mean, consumers are aware that lion's mane, for example, is going to help them with their memory. So, I wouldn't be surprised if pharmacists are being asked more readily about, functional mushrooms. I
Mhm.
see it continuing to grow, unlike with CBD, which is, did very, very well. There are no state regulations on that affect the ability to retail functional mushrooms. From a legal standpoint, it's smooth sailing. There's nothing that you need to worry about selling
Great.
functional mushrooms
One
in
of
your.
our viewers right now just threw in a comment, which I like to, just ask you that question. It says government is moving to criminalize the CBD in the US, which could bolster the mushroom market. Is that correct? Is that a correct statement, I guess, right?
Yeah, at the state level, the sale of CBD has become more and more challenging. So yes, I would think that with that, this could make mushrooms an alternative for people that are
Mhm. I
looking for
mean,
a natural.
I mean, I can go to my local grocery store and buy shiitake mushroom, right? I mean,
Right.
and I can put it on my pharmacy website that say we have shiitake mushroom, buy it and cook it and eat it, right? So there's no, I mean, nothing's holding me back for advertising these type of products on my website or my social media, correct?
That's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's no, as far as you know, there's no, uh, nobody's going to come, like Facebook's not going to say, well, we can't let you advertise mushroom on Facebook, for example. There's no such thing as that, right?
No banking challenges either. Yep. Yep.
Yeah, so it's time to shift from, I guess, CBD into mushroom. So if you're into CBD, you can bring in, uh, switch them from doing the CBD into mushrooms, which might be even be safer, correct?
Well, certainly it's a good option. We've gone through the safety profile, and yeah, for most patients, there'll be a pretty safe product to recommend. Yeah,
Awesome. Very good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Merdad, one of the things that I think would be helpful to the audience is to help them understand where the patient opportunities lie with
Mhm.
mushrooms. Mind if I sort of break that down for
Sure.
everyone?
Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah. I'd love to hear more. I'm sure everybody is, they're all engaged. So I'm engaged right now. So for sure, yeah.
Well, all pharmacies are, we work in a data-rich environment, and you help with that. And so what you have here are the 6 different mushroom species that Lifecykel makes. And this is how you can orient where your opportunities are by tapping into your pharmacy database.
Hmm.
So let's take the purple area there in reishi. So reishi can be used for sleep. It can be used for anxiety. So you can see the sleep medications that are listed underneath reishi. And so you can quickly go into your PMS and understand how many patients that represents. For most pharmacies, that's going to be 300 or more patients.
Right.
So
And
pretty
just to
large.
let our viewers know that, we do have an AI agent that we are launching in about a week or two that is actually going to address all of these. So right now we have analytics. We told you what part of what we do is our X Connections analytics. So you could go in and just ask the question, say, who has taken, let's say, astazolam or zolpidem or things like that, and it would just list all those prescriptions, the patients, and we also allow the pharmacy to actually send a text message to the patient, to those patients, to all of them, not just one at a time, say, hey, if you're on, you know, whatever sleeping medication that you're on, we do have the solution that might be safer for you, and it's called reishi mushroom. If you want to learn more, click in here. When they click, they take them to the link, whether you have an e-commerce platform or whether you have them on your website, or you can just send them to your pharmacy chatbot, and they can ask questions and buy the product. So we're actually something that I'm so glad that you showed this chart, because we're actually working on something like that just for nutraceutical, and to be
Mhm.
able to have the pharmacy have the ability to isolate those patients that are taking certain medications, and see what kind of vitamin depletion that they may be having, or in the case of the mushroom right here, I mean, this is perfect, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
everybody wants to cut back on the, Ambien. Everybody wants to cut back on prescription medication, and especially like, BHRTs, talking about lion's mane. I know that a lot of our pharmacists are compounding HRTs and things. So
Yeah,
that could be a huge plus. That could be an upsell to what you guys are already doing, correct?
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you for mentioning BHRT. I mean, it's
Yeah.
it's it's the largest area of compounding, and many pharmacies are involved in that particular type of compounding. And that's a great population for a couple of different mushroom species. People that are on hormone replacement therapy commonly report to you, "Hey, I just, my brain's not as sharp as it used to be.
Yeah.
I've got brain fog." Well, there's your lion's mane fit.
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
similarly,
Yeah.
they're generally like have lower energy levels. So again, the cordyceps is going to be that natural energy booster. So anyhow, this I just wanted to share this because many pharmacies find this so valuable before they even get involved with life cycle, just to figure out, well, really, what is my opportunity? And then, like I mentioned earlier on, we're going to be in the heart of respiratory season. Many pharmacies are giving flu shots now. So don't forget about that turkey tail. That
Mhm.
can really help you be a rock star hero for many of your patients that are going to be on oral antibiotics. I mean,
Right.
that turkey tail will help really strengthen their immune system and also protect their gut.
No,
So
this is wonderful. I'm sure some of the viewers recognize some of the names. you probably heard me talk about, ways to market your pharmacy. And people always say, well, how do I market my services? What do I do? What options do I have? And everybody goes toward, let me put vitamin C 2.99 a month on my social, I mean, 2.99 a bottle for on my social media, or put, on sale, some kind of muscle rub or whatever. But here's your chance now to on your social media, and we do all of that again for you at RX Connection. Here's your chance to put really real contents on your social media. Hey, are you feeling tired? Are you not focused enough? Are you taking hormone HRTs? Whatever that, flu season, you might be able to, get our turkey tail,
Mhm.
mushroom, and click here to buy it. It takes you to your right to your website or to your e-com. And, trust me, the big box stores and big companies, that's how they get customers. And we have kind of leveled the ground for, independent pharmacies to be able to do the exact same thing. And
Yeah.
I mean, I just had a webinar before this one, which we recorded, and we're going to have it on YouTube in the next day or two. This is exactly what we talked about, how you can use telemedicine, central fill, and, marketing. And the marketing part of it is what we're actually talking about here. This is great. I mean, this brings in real cash business, outside of the PBMs that you don't need anymore. I mean, if every pharmacy, just kind of like try to, reduce their dependence on PBM, then, we're going to have a lot of happier pharmacists out there. That's
Yeah.
basically is the environment that I kind of feel out there when I talk to a lot of pharmacists.
Yeah, no, and 2 points on this topic is Lifecykel creates some very good social media content. Please, pharmacy owners, use that content. You don't have to create it. Use it with Merdad. Use it with your system,
Yeah, send it
and
to us, Chuck. Send me those social medias. I'll be more happy for those who say, "Hey, I just bought this life cycle or whatever." We can go ahead and customize those, whatever you have, put in their logos or whatever, and be able to put that on their social media. I mean, we manage dozens and dozens of pharmacies' social media,
yeah,
and also just that's not all, but you know, we
yeah,
do a lot of other things, so we can definitely help them with their marketing, marketing these type of products and generating revenue. I mean, if you're making 10, 12, $15 off of these products, how many prescriptions do you have to fill for Humana to make $15? I mean, I
yeah,
mean, yeah. So that's how
exactly.
you have to kind of look at things,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's the beauty of this matrix here, and we can send this to anybody that's interested because it's your pro forma. You can again total up your resheet or excuse me your sleep medications. It's going to be 300 or more, and then what you were just saying is so true. What percentage of those could you get to start on mushrooms? I don't know, 10%, 20%, whatever. But multiply that times $15 profit. That's
Right.
exactly what you were talking about.
Yeah.
That's the real profit potential here that life cycle brings to the pharmacy.
Chuck, if I'm going for a job interview, okay, would this show up on a drug test or anything like that, or no?
No,
No. Okay. So there's no issues with drug testing or anything else, right?
no.
Okay. Great. It's just a question that was asked, so that's great.
Fair question. Yeah,
Yeah. All right.
yeah, yeah.
So, what's next, Chuck?
Well, I think we are very, very
Done?
pleased to partner with the RX Connection and with Live Harder Health. So, Live
Uh-huh.
Harder Health is a partner of ours that is helping us or helping create awareness for life cycle across the healthcare landscape. And
Mm-hmm.
if you're interested in becoming a life cycle retailer, please go to liveharderhealth.com /contact us. That's how you start the process. They have a simple intake form there, and that will get you over connected to Lifecycle, and we can
Nice.
help
Very
you
good.
get
Yeah. So
started.
basically, to go to the website, put in your information, you get contacted, and you can place one of those floor displays or whatever for your pharmacy, and you'll get in a few days. Do you guys give any kind of a dating to new members? Anything like that, like a 30-day net or anything like that? Or no, it's just basically COD.
Yeah, we don't give any dating. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But
All right.
what we do provide is all the marketing support, the training on top of that, and
Awesome.
um, and thank you for mentioning this. It's worth sharing this again. Again, that point of sale display is usually the way most pharmacies start. That's 42 items. It wholesales for around $850,
No,
and
not bad, really.
yeah,
I mean, 850, that's
yeah.
really isn't bad. And if you're pushing these, let's just say, and we have all the marketing. Something I just thought of is like you can create these bag stuffers or flyers and things like that that we could create for your pharmacy. And let's say you staple one of these bag stuffers to every one of the bags that leave your pharmacy. Okay, everyone, doesn't matter what medication they take. Hey, have you checked out our new mushroom medicinal, not medicinal, functional mushrooms and things like that? And put a QR code that takes them to your either website or your e-com or whatever. I mean, this is the way to market. You can also put up posters, right, on your window. But
Absolutely.
lots of ways you could market this. I mean, and we can help you with that. If you guys need help, how do I market this? Be sure you contact our digital solutions over here at RS Connections, and everybody works in the office. We don't subcontract these out to outside of the country, made in USA, and we can help you with all your problems. And remember, everything that we create for you is pharmacist reviewed, which is me and another pharmacist, which we make sure that there's a pharmacist input into it that because you may find, hey, I have a local guy that does it for a lot less. Okay, well, he may put something on that ad that you may not want to have, right?
Mhm.
It may cause you legal problems, issues, and things like that. So, um, what about you know members asking, is this product going to be on RX Connection website to purchase? I think Tim, uh, like Chuck said, can you put that slide up again, Chuck? It was
Sure.
liveharderhealth.com
Sure.
/contact. I believe that's what it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me 1 second here.
So basically, you go to that website. Okay. It's yeah. And that's the website is Live Harder Health, liveharderhealth.com. And, uh, you know, uh, Lifecykel and Live Harder, they work together, and that's where you need to start. And actually, you go to that website, Live Harder, you'll see we have other things that you have access to. It's a pretty good website. I recommend that you do visit that site. Now,
Yeah.
somebody else, Chuck, real quick. I know we're kind of getting to the end of this presentation, but they're asking me consultation opportunities. Do you have anything that, let's just say, somebody then could start a consultation that they can have for these type of products? Have you heard of something like that? I'm not sure exactly what they meant by consultation uh,
Well,
opportunities.
yeah, I think once what they may be referring to is their ability to counsel patients on overall what functional mushrooms are and how they may fit into somebody's health and wellness
Okay, makes sense.
routine.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so again, what Lifecykel has created are some great videos that will get the pharmacist and team up to speed on you know everything from mechanism of action to scientific research to clinical applications of
Mm,
functional mushrooms. So
right.
yeah, I think that
And
may be.
somebody else is asking, well, what about paid consults? I mean, I know
Hmm.
that I know of a few pharmacies, and I mean, maybe a dozen or two, that they are charging for their consultation, whether it be nutraceutical, whether it be nutrition, diet, hormone replacement, HRTs. They're charging fees for patients to come in and say, hey, I want to have I want a consultation about my overall health. Here are the medications I take. Here's what I've been using. This is what I take over the counter vitamin things and so on and so forth. Can you tell me what I can do to, uh, you know, maybe have a healthier lifestyle, right? More or less for any condition that they're trying to get into. So this could be also an opportunity for a paid consultation, right?
Sounds like it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So good question. Yeah. So I mean, there are lots of ways you could for everyone. There's lots of ways that you could be promoting this in your pharmacy. And what I would suggest is, you know, get in touch with liveharderhealth.com and connect, talk to them about these type of products and and maybe for those members that are RX Connection members, hopefully we'll be able to have a direct link inside RX Connection really soon, where they can just go log into your RX Connection. There's, your connect to Mushroom and place your orders there, right? Why not?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Chuck, thank you. It's good information. You got my attention for sure. and uh, and I think it must have been interesting, but because a lot of folks, hung out till the last minute, so that's good. When you see people leaving, that means your topic is no good. But since they stayed all the way to the end, that tells me that this was something that sparked their interest. So if you have any questions, please contact RS Connection at rsconnection.com. We'll be able to answer any questions you have, or if you want to get a copy of this presentation. Is it okay if we share these with our members? Okay. We'll be able
Absolutely.
to share it. So if you need a copy of that, be sure to send an email to info@rsconnection.com, and we'll send you a copy of this presentation. And keep in mind that this is going to be on our YouTube channel in a day or two, and you can always go and watch that again. Chuck, thank you very much, and I look forward to working with you. You have a great product, and I think it's going to do well. So,
Well, thank you for the opportunity
yeah,
to
best of
speak
luck,
your
and
mind.
yeah, all right. Thank you, everyone, for attending. I know you probably want to go back to work, right? Okay. See you later. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.